everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So today I am taking part in an open collaboration for something that is from the magical mind of Barbara of 49 Dragonflies. So I was watching her and she had this really fun idea about creating your own prompts from a book. So she just used like the book that she just finished reading, which I believe is The Book Thief. So you can use a modern book or an old book or whatever. And the idea is you just open it to a random page, you look through the page and you select something to use in as a prompt in whatever you're going to create. So you do that 6 times. One is the bonus that you don't have to use. You could swap it out for one of the other prompts. So today I just grabbed a random old book from my studio. This is In Search of Ireland by H.V. Morton. And I'm just going to go ahead and open up this book and find some prompts. I don't think it's like the rules are all that sticky. I think the only rules were that I can't remember what the rules were. See, I'm such a rule breaker that I can't even remember. It's okay. Okay, let's just take a look. So we have here spring. That could be nice. Yeah, let's go with spring. I don't want to overthink this too much. Peculiar. Charm could be nice. Meadow. String. I'm going to go with string. Okay. Silver. Oak. And one more for a bonus. Photographs. Okay. So we have spring, peculiar, string, silver, oak, and photographs. So give me a little bit of time to just kind of think about this and I will pull some supplies together. I already absolutely love this. Okay, so I've gathered my materials and we'll see how this turns out. I've got kind of a plan in mind. So I'll tell you a little bit about what I've gathered. So for spring, I think about spring peepers. And so I have this page of all these different frogs. These are from an Etsy seller, Far Mirage, who does all sorts of different like digital ETC type cards. And I actually have a few more if I need to work with some more. So I'll set those aside. Those will be spring peepers. And then for string, I've got this whole, my ort, as the term was coined by Anne Brooke, all of this string and thread that I use left over. So I've got kind of a bunch of that at my disposal. Peculiar. So honestly, I think I'm doing this in a few different ways. So this paper itself, I feel like it has a peculiar feel to it. Also, I think because spring is in the theme, this is a peculiar color to use. And also, this paper I got in Happy Mail, and I have no idea how it was created. All of it is very peculiar to me. So the other way that I have used peculiar is, I know people have very mixed feelings about these dolls from Tim Holtz. I like them. I think that a lot of them have personality, and sometimes I think when things aren't just outwardly kind of like specifically positive, people are like, what do you do with this? Well, these are the kind of things that you do with these kind of paper dolls when it's not just all like cutesy and wholesome, right? So what makes them peculiar to me is the look on their face. So most of these images that Tim Holtz gets to create these are from vintage photos, and you know, you have to think about the time when these kind of photos are taken. Photography was not what it is today, which is like, you know, instantaneous. If you think of things like, you know, tintype and stuff like that, like those photos could take hours to set up. They were a very special occasion. Not everyone had access to photography and to images at the time, different times. So I could imagine these girls have been, you know, posing for this for quite a long amount of time, and maybe the smiles have worn off their faces. So I thought that was kind of good for peculiar. Silver. I have no silver paint. Isn't that bizarre? I have watercolor. That's a lie. I do have watercolor. But what I pulled instead is this string, again, of sequins that are silver, and they are also iridescent. And I like how they go with this overall aesthetic. Oak. I have some oak leaves here that are dry that I'm going to glue down and hydrate with glue. And photographs. I think that this one actually is kind of a double whammy because this is a photograph. So the other thing that I'm thinking about for peculiar, and just bringing the whole thing together with the spring peepers, is I have this piece of acetate from a package, like a box, and I'm going to use it to try to represent a water, like a puddle that they'll be standing in with some spring peepers. And so I may also depict them as fairies, and I may use this to do that as well. So let's try to bring this together. So first things first, I think I want to use the oak leaves in the background, and that's actually going to be kind of the toughest part, is to try not to break the oak leaves and to kind of soak them a little bit with glue. So I'm trying to decide what side I like better, the dark side or the lighter side. And maybe one of each. I do like the details on this one, so maybe like this. Okay, so I'm going to do my best here. You may see some crackling and stuff. Don't panic, because that's bound to happen. These have been dried, not in my they were not dried in my microfleur, so they're not like as uniform and flat as they should be. They were just dried like how I found them. Oh, I do like that color. I guess that's the same. Yeah, it is the same. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of, you know what, I'll get my glue book for this, because I really need to saturate these in some glue to kind of try to make them not get as crackly as they would like to probably be. So just try to do our best not to crackle them up. They're actually, this one's behaving quite well actually. Maybe it's not as delicate as I think. Most of the time when I use leaves, they're actually not that bad to use. But I wasn't sure because these ones were not dried like I usually dry leaves. So we'll get this gluey bit out of the way here. I'm going to lie that down on the page and just begin to press it down and just train it against the paper a bit. The truth of the matter is I could laminate this whole thing if I really wanted to, but I could also Mod Podge it. which I may do. We'll see. Okay, so this one now. Thinking about how to take this particular challenge one step further, and I was thinking about, what if you made all of your ephemera for a journal and the theme of your journal this way, with prompts from the book that you use for the journal. So imagine if I used this cover for a journal, and maybe say 20 times I had to do this. I wonder how it would end up turning out, like what would be the theme and how would the whole thing come together. That'd be kind of cool. I've heard Barbara mention before, and I definitely agree with her. I need more than one prompt to feel like I'm really doing something creatively most of the time, I think. So I like the idea of taking prompt lists and kind of like using them however you want to. Oops, that's a little piece that could use a little more glue. And I'm not going to cry about it if I crack this one. It's not a big deal. Okay, so we've got this down. It's pretty well down, I would say. Now, we'll just start to kind of lay things out a little bit. So I want these girls to just kind of stand in the middle of these two leaves. Then I've got to decide on a couple of frogs, or peepers here, that are going to match up. I do like the idea of adding a green one and maybe a brown one or a reddish one. So I think this one is a good candidate for this. This one. I do like this red one, and I do like this green one. I almost wonder if the green one might be too loud though. So we'll try this reddish colored one. So I'm just going to cut these out. These are not the right scissors. Where are my other scissors? Hold on. Yeah. These are better. Okay. Oh, cutting out froggy fingers. I'm not going to try to make this perfect here. I don't think it really matters because I think I'll be able to cover it with what I'm going to be doing. So one, and this lovely guy. I'm having the weirdest problem today. My glasses keep shifting down my nose, and I have no idea why. They've never done it before, only today, and I feel like, has my nose shrunk? What is going on? Why is this happening to me? It's peculiar. Okay, sorry for all this fussy cutting here. All right, but this is what I'm thinking. It's just these guys here, they're just kind of hanging out with these gals. Now, I want them to be kind of like in a mud puddle, or like a shiny like water puddle. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna kind of cut like a rounded sort of kind of free-formed shape here. This may or may not work. I don't really know. I've never done this before. I'm also thinking about how this will look when it's glued down, because I'll probably use Fabri-Tac, and I may end up using the texture that the Fabri-Tac creates to add to the watery look, because I think either way, whatever we do, you're going to see something. So yeah, I think it does look like they're standing in water, which is what I want. Okay, so I think I should probably consider some gluing down at this point, but I'm also going to just try to create fairy wings with this acetate, because I feel like these girls are, you know, they're very tiny because they've got these big frog friends here. So we will explain their tininess by making them into fairies. And I might add something to that to make it stand out, like some silver and gold. Maybe those sequins will be the marks on the wings. And I'm only going to do wings for the two girls on the outside. The one in the middle, I'm going to leave it to the imagination that she is a fairy. And okay, let's get rid of all this sharp plastic now. Okay. All right, so let's get working on this. So the first thing we'll do is we'll work on the, why did I keep this one? What's the other one? Over there. Let's throw that one away. Like I was emotionally attached to it or something. Goodness. Oops, I just hit my mic. I think I did. Sorry if I just gave you a little tap here. Okay. I think I just made the lighting weird. Sorry about that. Oh, there we go. Get my light once. Hold on one second. I'm going to fix my light. Okay, I've actually changed my mind on using the gold paint. I want to try to stick a little bit with my silver idea. I'm just going to check on this and make sure it's doing okay. And cover this glue that is so smooshy now. Okay, that's doing fine. We'll leave the brick there. I'm going to instead use this folk art Dragonfly Glaze. It's a color changing top coat acrylic. So I'm going to try using it on the wings and just see what happens. Okay. I think, did I shake this? Do I need to shake this? I think I probably do. I always forget. I don't know. Maybe I didn't need to shake it again. Let's just see if anything changes about how this looks. All right, so I'm going to put this on kind of thick. It's going to need some drying time. It's funny listening to Barbara talk about the frustration of drying time this morning. I have all the same problems, all the same issues. Okay, but I guess we probably all do. So I might just get my heating gun out and do a little heating gun action on these, and then I will come back to you and we'll see how these look. Okay, so strange development. Well, not that strange. While I'm heat gunning, I noticed that like the heat, right, this is thin acetate, so it can change the dimension of the wings, which is fine. But I'm thinking about how I could use the heating gun on the water to change it a little. Let's do an experiment. Okay, cool. So this is making it a little bit milky, but also crackly. Like it's got, let me hold it up. It's got these little fine crackles in it. It's kind of cool. Okay. I could do without the milky, but I'm okay with that. Now, these are just about ready. I'm just going to kind of dab my fingers on them a little to just give a little texture to this. Okay, so now let's get them off of this page. And we'll wipe this away. All right, that's dry. Okay, good. So now get the wings here, and where are my sequins? Right here. So I need to pull some of these off. This is going to be the kind of dainty work here of working with these little sequins. Probably use my yeah, these just to help get them off. Could use needle nose pliers or tweezers. Okay, so I think I'll use more of these a little later, but for now that should be okay. And then I'm going to take Fabri-Tac, and maybe I still need to use these to pick these up because they're so fine. Goodness, let's see. Okay. They're going to stick to my fingers too. Oh goodness. This is going to be a little bit of dainty work that I might just pause and come back for, but the concept I want is I want to add some sequins on the wings of these fairies, and I'll probably follow a bit of a theory of like how moth wings look with the you know, the dots that are symmetrical. I'll probably make an attempt at that. So why don't I do this myself off camera for a bit, and then I'll come back when they are all done. So a little bit of time has passed. I decided to give this a little more drying time. So the wings are, I actually just kind of stuck them to the back of the dolls using the paint. So they're done. The sparkle is there. Hopefully you can see it. And I also dug out silver paint. I actually found some. I do have some. So I think now what I'm going to do is probably glue them down. And to do that, I'm going to use a combination, I think, of art glitter glue on the paper and Fabri-Tac on the plastic. Oh, I have to unclog my glue bottle. Okay. Okay, just go around that, and then the Fabri-Tac on the, actually this is 3-in-1, it's not Fabri-Tac, but it's basically the exact same thing from what I can tell. Okay, then just lay them down on here. I think about there's good. I did get a little bit of like a gobber of glue right there. That's okay though, we can put something over that. This is just a lot of glue to deal with at once. And I think this actually might just benefit from having the brick sit on it for a moment. So I'm just going to give it a moment sitting under the brick. I will be right back. Okay, so this is mostly dry. We still have a bit of the Fabri-Tac glue, or the 3-in-1, to dry, and I'm going to now, I think I'll put the frogs down, our little spring peepers. So I'll grab them, just kind of decide where we want them to be. Yeah. Get glue on all of the edges and those little fingers. Okay. Oops. Okay, we're just gonna disconnect that one little finger. It would be under her shoe at this point anyway, so it's okay. There we go. And then this little one, oops, Okay. And he's going to sit right over here, I think. Get rid of this brick. It's jamming up my space. Okay. There we go. Okay. Everything just really needs a bit more drying time, but I want to keep going. So now I'm just going to do a few little pops of glue here and there to add these little sequins. I'm not sure how well this is going to work though. They're really hard to use, these little tiny guys. It's kind of little bits of tedious work, but... And also, I think I won't use the Fabri-Tac because it just seems to want to move too much. That's the trouble, is it doesn't want to dry quick enough. So I think I'm going to actually go to using the art glitter glue. I can get a smaller little dot too. I can just lay them on there. Yeah, that's much easier. As always, art glitter glue comes through. Come on. Okay. Maybe I'll just do a few little bops here and there. There we go. Now let's quickly load these on. Okay. Oops. Why? Cooperate. Okay, now I'm just going to give them a little tap just to make sure that they're down, and they are. Okay. Okay, so yeah, this really would benefit from a little more drying time, I think. Now what I'd like to do is I want to now add some silver splatter to this, and going to do that in here. A bit of my silver paint. I don't know if I might need a bit. Yeah, I'm going to need a little water, and also I'm going to cover up their little faces. So just give me 2 seconds and I will get water. But first, before I do that, I'll just tear this off to cover their faces so that when I do splatter, I won't get their faces, and I won't get the froggies' faces either. There we go, just like that. So I'll be right back with a little water. Okay, so I've added some water to my silver paint. Just gonna add some splatters here. Okay, there we go. So now this just literally needs to finish its drying. I will come back and show it to you when it's all dry. Okay, so we are all finished. I trimmed down this piece into a smaller, more manageable piece to go inside a journal. I think we're just completely dry now, just about, a little bit more glue to dry, but so that is my 6 prompts from a random book on my bookshelf. So again, I used In Search of Ireland, just a random book that's on my bookshelf, and opened up the pages to all of these random words, and my prompts were spring, peculiar, string, silver, oak, and photographs. And I just realized I forgot string. Oh my gosh. And I've been so excited to use this string because I was like, this is great. This will make a little nest around here. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Oh my goodness. I have had a little bit of a long day. It's, one of those things. So we're just going to put a bit of 3-in-1 down here underneath. And I wanted to make like a little bit of like a little nesty type thing here with this. To just get them all cozied in. Our little spring peepers now have their little nest and their little pond. Okay, there we go. So these are our girls here splashing around. Spring, peculiar, string, silver, oak, and photographs. So I had a lot of fun making this, and I think it's a really great recipe for creativity. Thank you, Barbara. I absolutely love your ideas, and this was a lot of fun, and I think I'm going to do more of this just because, look what we come up with, right? Really fun ideas. So thanks everyone for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye for now.